I'm just here to share a couple words that I feel like the Lord has shared with me over the last couple of years, and just been feeling like I don't need to keep them to myself, but that I should be sharing them. So, in my active obedience here, I am going to share some of these words, and I pray that they would bless you as much as they have blessed me, and I pray that they would bring you closer to Jesus, and that you would know his heart, and that you would get to form your own relationship with him, and know that he can and will speak to you through anything and everything. So without further ado, I'll go ahead and get started on some of these words that I wanted to share with you. So this first one is from July 30th, 2019, and I had asked God, why does love feel like hell? He said, it's when you haven't healed yet. How can something broken hold anything in it? I asked him. He said, like a broken glass vase lays shattered and not together, how does it hold water for the flowers inside of it when it's broken and all of the water would fall back out? Wow, that's huge revelation for me. I need to heal my brokenness so that I can hold on to the love that he gives me and so that I can help love on others. And I just wanted to share that with you, that if you are in a time period of your life where you feel like love is difficult, love is scary, love is hard, and it feels like hell, then it's okay, because you're probably in the season of healing, and you're probably in the season of acceptance of learning to love yourself and learning to accept God's love for you first before he sends you out to find that love in someone else. He really, like he said, like a broken vase can't hold any of the water. So he wants to heal that. He wants to put your broken pieces back together so that you can actually hold and accept and feel the fullness of his love and the love from the people that he wants to put in your life as well. So I just hope that's an encouraging word to you guys as much as it was to me, that it's okay to be on that healing process, to find out what love feels like, and to have God heal those broken pieces of us so that we can actually retain it, so we can actually hold on to it. Because I don't know about you, but that's my biggest desire, is to actually feel loved and to be able to accept it and believe it and trust it. And I feel like that's exactly what the Lord is teaching us right now. Let's see. Here's another word that I got from the Lord. February 22nd, 2020. And this one I feel like is a more important word. It's pretty impactful for me, and I feel like it's one of those things where it will be remembered for years to come. And he told me to highlight it, fold it, color it, do whatever you need to do so that it's remembered and you can find it easily again. And at the time I was nervous to share it because I really just didn't know if I was hearing from the Lord correctly. I didn't know if it was something that I could share with others or that I should share with others, but I just really feel like he's got me in the season where he's like, release everything that I've given you. You don't need to hold on to it, and he will get it to the people that it needs to get to. And so I just pray that this would get to who it needs to get to. So when I was talking to the Lord, I said that he kept focusing on the word plant. And so I asked him, what does this mean? Like a plant church, plant like a garden? I'm like, I don't understand what you're talking about. And I felt like he said, I am doing a new thing, and I will show you along the way. And I asked him, what does this mean? And he said, revival. Revival camps, revival tents, revival communities. And I could see this picture kind of begin to form in my head of all of these people just everywhere. There's people flocking, and just like crowds of people just showing up in these old abandoned buildings, in these dirty streets, in these city parks, in the nature, in the forest, in like campsites, in homes, in driveways, in parking lots, in cars. I mean, there was just people flocking by the hundreds to all of these different places of what the Lord was calling a revival. And I don't know where they're at. I don't know what cities they're in or anything like that, but they were not these pristine, well put together areas. They didn't look like this was their intended purpose. It kind of looked like an afterthought or something that maybe had been used for something prior to this, that was getting a new life and being used for something new. And so I you know, was asking him, what does revival look like? What is this revival? And I heard him say revival camps. Revival camps are revival hotspots that are all over the world, and you will see them to start popping up. And so I asked him, what is this? What is a revival camp? And he said, it is when an outpouring of my spirit hits a city and brings them to their knees. I asked him, what does a revival city or a revival camp or a revival hotspot look like or sound like? And he said, praises. It's when people are worshiping my name, and where there are more than two gathered in my name, I will be there with them. I hear my people, and I will rescue them all. Then I heard that phrase in the song that says, Pharaoh, let my people go, echoing in my head. My first thought was, I need to let someone know what I'm hearing. And asked the Lord, like, what should I do? And he said, what you do in private trust will be rewarded. Be confident in what you are hearing from me, and you don't need to check in with anyone else. So I really feel like the takeaway from this is, like, the Lord is bringing revival. He's bringing great revival. He is bringing revival to cities and to our nation and to our world. And we're going to start seeing them pop up in smaller areas and then bigger areas and bigger areas and bigger areas. And it's going to be in the least likely places. It's not going to be in what you would think it would be like. It's not going to look like what you think it would look like. The Lord can use anything, and He will use everything. And so I just really feel like this is an encouraging word to know that even though we are definitely in some trying times and everyone has gone through something in these last couple of years, I really feel like the Lord is bringing this around for revival, that He wants to bring all of these hearts to know Him and to enter the kingdom, and that He will use all of this that our nation is going through for revival and for good, and to heal more hearts and to set more lives free. So for me, that was really exciting to know that, like, all right, God, you are on the move, and He has a plan, and He has not forgotten us, and He will bring it to pass, and to be on the lookout for what that revival might look like for you personally, and you're on the inside of you, in your mind and your heart, and then what might the Lord be showing you for a revival in your area, in your city, in your town, in your community, in, like, whatever it may look like for you. Be open to it looking different and feeling different and sounding different than you might think it would be, or that maybe you thought it should be, because I really feel like the Lord is moving in a different way, in an unusual way, in a unique way, in a way that only He will get that credit for. No one else will be able to take credit for it, because we will be able to know that was no one other than the Lord. He is the one that did this, and He is the one that will bring us through. So that was another exciting word to know. Like, His revival is on the horizon. Revival is here. He wants to bring revival, and, like, that is what He is calling us to do and to be a part of as well, if you want to join in with Him. Another word that I have here was from March 3rd, 2020, and this one is very interesting. I feel like it's definitely a kingdom marriage word, so I pray that you would take it to the Lord, but it also is just kind of some good revelation as well. And so I feel like the Lord was telling me there is a next level of healing that takes place when you walk in the fullness of God's love. But first, you must receive the wholeness of my love and allow it deep into your being, which can only be fully done once you receive the true, honest, deep, and pure love of the one that I have sent to care for you. The love that you receive from your holy centered spouse allows my love to flow through you in new ways than you've ever experienced before. healing places that would never have been opened before the intimacy that loving spouse can bring you. So I just really felt like, for me, that it was reassuring, to know, like, He does know the deepest desires of our hearts. He knows that if you have that desire to be married and to be, in loving marriage, in a godly marriage, that He knows that, and it's not weird, it's not selfish, but that He gave you that desire, and to know that your marriage is an extension of God's love. And so if we don't know how to accept God's love first, then how are we going to be able to accept our spouse's love? And how are we going to be able to extend that same love in return to our spouse, or even for ourselves, really? Like, if we can't accept God's love for us, then how do we love ourselves, and then how do we love those around us? So I just really feel like that was an encouraging word, to know that He knows those desires are what we have in our heart, and that He has a plan figured out for us, that that you will receive that love from your spouse, and it should feel similar to the love that you receive from your Heavenly Father. So you need to know what your Heavenly Father's love feels like first, so that you are able to share that with others. Again, that's a kingdom marriage word, so I pray that you take that to the Lord. I feel like this one was definitely very, very personal to me, but I feel like I can share it. So what was interesting about this word was, it was in, April 17th, 2020, and I had been, just really sitting with the Lord and really, asking Him for some clarity, and just for what my next steps should be, and what, with some decisions that I should be making. And it was so interesting because he started answering me with my name. Like, he would start his replies with Kaylee, and then he would tell me, and then he would come back around and say Kaylee, and then tell me a little bit more. And to me, it caught me so off guard, because I'd never really heard him do that before. Usually it's, it's a kind voice. I know it's him, but he usually doesn't call me by my name. And so I had asked him, I'm like, Lord, why are you all of a sudden calling me by my name? Like, am I in trouble? Like, when your parent calls you out by your name, like, am I in trouble? What's going on here? You've never done this before. And I had asked him, like, why now? Like, what has changed? And he said, you know who you are now, so you come when I call your name. Before, you would have ran from me if I called your name, because you didn't know who you truly were. But my daughter, I have always known your name, but now you know your name. You know who you are, and you know whose you are. You are mine, and I am yours. And, like, man, it just hit me in the feels. Like, that to me is so personal. For someone to, like, acknowledge you with your name, that isn't for anyone else. Like, that is for you, and only you. And so I was second guessing if I should even share this word. And so I don't feel like it means it's just mine because he was saying my name. I feel like I am in the position to share this, to let you know that you are in the same position, and that you know who you are now too, and you know your name, and he knows your name. He has known your name all along. He has known you all along, and you are just now, like, getting to that same level of acceptance that the Lord has always had for you, and that he has always been with you, and that he is just as excited to know that you know who you are now, and he can, like, it's that next level, like, it's that next level of a friendship, like, that next level of a relationship, like, that he knows you, and you believe it, and you accept it, and you don't run from it, and it's not scary, but rather it's comforting, and it gives you peace and clarity to know that he knows your name. So that, I guess, my heart for you is to know that he knows your name, just like he knows my name. And even if we've ran from it for a long time, or a short time, or for, a portion of our life, like, it doesn't matter. It doesn't change our name. It doesn't change who we are or how he sees us. As soon as we know who we are, we come back to him and we accept it. And we accept him and we accept who we are in him. He just flows right back into, like, you're my child, and I love you, and I have always loved you, and I will always love you. And that just brings me so much comfort and so much joy and so much peace. Just be like, yeah, my Papa in heaven knows me by name. He loves me on a personal level, and he has never left me, and he will never leave me. And sometimes that's all I have to remind myself for to get through the day or through the week or whatever it is it's, he knows my name, and it's going to be okay. So I really pray that you would receive that word and know that he wants you to know that for yourself as well. I think that is enough for today, and I'll go ahead and get things shifted so that when we come back tomorrow, I have some more words to share with you. I hope you guys all have a blessed day, and that the Lord will just continue speaking to you, and that you just continue getting closer and closer with him.